services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives. The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, takes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker in one more.
Demorne Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Tick Weeknights. Once again, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. If you guys want to join in on the show, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. You can put a face to the voice. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 961. We got the NBA Finals starting today. We got the Boston Celtics versus the Dallas Mavericks. Has your mind shifted at all? Porzingis is going to be there for game one. And again, we keep talking about this roster, but it's actually happening today. Where are we at with it?
I still feel the same way. I think Mavs got it. I'm not too worried about them.
Yeah, to me, it comes down. We kind of talked about it yesterday, but if Kristaps Porzingis isn't 100% healthy, we'll say 70% healthy, are they better off with Al Horford out there? Because this version of Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford, arguably, we're kind of giving him some slack for being older. But, I mean, he's done pretty well throughout those playoffs, carrying them and doing just enough to get that team all the way through, given kind of a cupcake of a series going through the whole thing. The Eastern Conference Finals with the 6-seeded Pacers. But with Porzingis, because I'm just not entirely sure he's going to be 100% healthy out there. And that was massive because the last time they played the Mavericks, that was a big deal. Kristaps Porzingis was that matchup problem. So with him, not him out there on the court, I know I'm still leaning Celtics, but it could be a massive difference if Porzingis isn't 100% or even 90%.
Again, he hasn't played since before the playoffs started, so is he in playing shape? How is he going to fit? Is that going to change up things for them? And they have, the Mavs have multiple big men. So it's just not going to be, his job and his job only. He's not going to play the whole game. Or at least I don't expect him to play the whole game. So when he's off the court or, with him, getting things back into shape or getting back into the fit of things, what is that going to look like? Because if he's off the court, I think they're going to definitely take advantage of that, even if, Horford is there. He's played decent amount of time, maybe, but I mean, he's not, I wouldn't say, he's a game changer or game stopper. He's a problem from the 3-point line, but, the Mavs guys are in the paint, and I don't think, Horford is going to do anything to stop, either one of the 2 or 3 if they get down there.
Yeah, Horford's going to have some tough matchup problems, especially if he's got a guy like Lively or Gafford. That just doesn't – the Mavericks, this is what's impressive about the Mavericks. You look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, the number 1 defense, not even close. It was pretty clear, especially once they took down Denver Nuggets. It's like, okay, these guys are legit. But you keep watching the Mavericks. What you think about the OKC Thunder, if they're ready for the finals or not? They dismantled that team and then went on to dismantle a very solid Timberwolves defense. So Jason Kidd is getting a big head nod for me because he is really finding ways to destroy teams with these matchups. And even though the Celtics have it on paper, I do think I'm going to give the edge to Jason Kidd here because the way they've been just taking down these defenses, the OKC Thunder, the number 1 seed, the number 1 defense in the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now they got the number 1 record and the 3rd best defense in the Boston Celtics. Do you give Jason Kidd the head nod that he's going to be able to find matchups, or are you going more Udoka?
No, I'm definitely going Jason Kidd. I mean, he was a floor general. He's a student of the game. He's a mastermind. And then you have a point guard in Kyrie to where he can do anything you want, inside, outside. You just gotta push him in a direction. I think, a combination of those two is going to create a problem for anybody. And if Kyrie wants to get off and go for 30, I mean, I don't think there's many that is going to stop him. And Jason, has put in the team and, giving Kyrie the keys to run things. He's an ex-champion himself, a Hall of Famer himself and everything like that. So I think that matchup there against coaches, I don't think it's close at all.
Yeah, I'm going to go the coaches with you there as well. It's just with this roster, Jaylen Brown, I've said it, he's been playing really well in these playoffs. He's got to play well in these finals. A lot of this matchup's going to be on him. I think Drew Holiday is going to obviously be a significant X factor. I said this earlier on the happy hour with the guys, but he is in a perfect spot with the Boston Celtics because if you remember his time with New Orleans Pelicans, not nearly as talented, but still when they make those playoff runs, Drew Holiday would always have a massive dip in offensive production. And I don't think it was so much of a Drew Holiday problem as it is. This guy's also your best defender, and you're just killing him. On defense, he's being your best defender, putting a ton of energy on there. And then also, how many times with the Pelicans, he also had to be that guy offensively to try to stir the drink for him. It was kind of like that, too, for a while when they got Zion Williamson trying to figure out what's this going to look like, and it never quite clicked, even with Zion when they made it to the playoffs. This is a team he can just focus on defense, and that fits really well for him. Drew Holiday, Luka, Kyrie, how do you like the odds of Drew Holiday being able to nullify at least one of these guys and maybe enough to win the series?
I think it's a mismatch either way you go with it. Luka is, staggering over him. He's not going to really blow by you. That's not really his game. So even if you put Drew on him and to try and get Luka to put the ball on the floor and whatnot, I mean, he's going to just rise up and that's more of Luka's game. It might be a little bit closer with Kyrie, but have we seen anybody stop Kyrie from getting anything that he's wanted. So I think they're gonna have to come up with something. I know probably Drew is a big part of that, but which one are you more concerned about, Luka or Kyrie? And I don't know like how that's gonna favor, for Drew Holiday, because if you put him on Luka, like I said, I don't think you're really taking away Luka from doing anything, because all they're gonna do is just bring the screen to him. He's gonna pick and roll as soon as he gets past the screen, pull up, or a drive and a step back shoot. And if it's Kyrie, and you want to ISO him in the middle of the floor, you're not gonna catch Kyrie on either side, in any of the corners. So you got a lot of space with arguably one of the best ball handlers in the game ever. Nothing against Drew. I think that's at a disadvantage. So I don't know how you combat that. I'm not sure if that sets him up, for success. And I feel like Kyrie's going to be coming there, with a chip on his shoulder with playing in Boston and how things went and how things said and everything like that. So that's just more fuel to the fire. And I don't know if you want to send Drew to the woodshed like that.
It'd be a disservice to Drew Holiday if we were to do that. This is why Porzingis is interesting, because he did bring up those matchups, and if Porzingis isn't out there, they're gonna really be struggling, because the Celtics, that's their biggest advantage if he's healthy, because you can really put guys like Gafford. Lively can probably handle a little bit better, but you're gonna put them in some tough matchup situations where they're not going to be able to switch with Porzingis, because he can pull those bigs out and cause a lot of problems for you. So Porzingis being healthy, that's key. Derek White seems like he's always that X factor, especially when it comes to the playoffs. He might be good for a 20-point game, but it's really those role players, ironically, the cheesy quote, the unsung heroes. Somebody's going to have a game to kind of swing these series, because I think we know what we're going to get with Luka and Kyrie. If Luka, they've almost had this amazing trade-off system the entire playoffs. Like you said, if they really want to try to lock up Luka, they're going to find a way to get Kyrie going and vice versa. They got two lethal scorers. We did the exercise yesterday. I think the best player is Luka. I think the second best player might still arguably be Kyrie. Maybe you put Tatum there. But just in terms of this playoff situation, it feels like Kyrie Irving's playing some of his best basketball. And the Mavericks, I'm just impressed with their ability to dismantle teams. Some of these best defensive teams. The Boston Celtics being number 3. We saw what they did to the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's going to be close. I'm still going to go with the total on paper, and I think the Celtics have that edge. History would tell me I'm wrong. The Mavericks' past few series would tell me I'm wrong, but I'm still going to go with the Celtics. I think it's the year for Tatum. Has to be the year for Brown, because Brown does get a lot of criticism, and he brought this up in a press conference talking about how he doesn't really care anymore, and he should, because he's going to get a ton of criticism. His numbers, the amount of money he gets paid, is why that criticism's there. He's getting paid more than Tatum, and it's not even close right now. That comes with criticism and a lot of pressure. Do you think Brown shines in this moment? Do you think this is kind of one of his series where the haters get quieted down a little bit?
I think so. Not to say that he's fed up of things. His matchup, I think, is going to be important. His matchup is going to be important because I think he's going to be the first person to guard Luka, just because of his athletic ability, to move side to side, height. And on the opposite end, it's like, I don't know who Luka's going to guard. And if Luka guards Jalen, I think that's your mismatch. We've seen how inconsistent, Luka can be on the defensive side of things. So I think if he gets that matchup, I definitely think, he'll exploit that. And he's a competitor. He definitely takes things, personally. So I think he'll be the one to be on Luka first and kind of, keep him quiet as much as he can. Now it just depends on how hot Luka, starts off, or does he starts cool first. So I think Jalen is going to be a bigger X factor than, some of the other guys that you had mentioned earlier. They're going to need him night in and night out to step things up. If he's not having 25 points plus, I think they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. When it comes to how important is this game one, let's say Mavericks or Celtics, how much are you going to weigh into this game one, deciding on who loses? Because I'm almost in the mindset that I think if the Celtics drop game one, I immediately going to want to retake what I said tonight about I think the Celtics winning it in 6 or 7. If they drop game one at home in the Garden, I smell trouble immediately because the Mavericks are playing so well right now, and the confidence already feels like it's on their side just because everyone's already kind of talking about the Mavericks. They went through just some incredible teams. The Western has just been way tougher. They've been tested over and over and over, and they come out on top. The Celtics, they might be a little uneasy going through this thing because this is, if you're being real, the first real test they're going to get, and it just so happens to be in the NBA Finals. If they drop this one, do they have any chance of coming back?
I think not necessarily coming back, but I think it'll be close. What we've seen the last couple of series with Boston, we know they're liable to drop one at home. Knowing that, this is the first time Kyrie is stepping back in that place and everything like that, I think he's going to bring a different type of energy, and that's going to rise everybody up around him. I think they're going to punch Boston in the mouth, and Boston's not going to know exactly how to kind of handle things. Boston typically is a slow starting team. I don't expect them to start fast. They kind of want to see how bad things are, gauge it, and then kind of adjust and, raise the level. And I think the Mavs are completely the opposite, unless, they're just having an off game or one of those, inconsistent type things. But they still take off fast, and they play to their type of style of game. So I think the Mavs are going to come in there and not shock people, but definitely punch them in the mouth. And I'm not saying it's going to wake a giant. It's going to make it a little bit more competitive in games 2 and 3.
Yeah, you're right about the slow starts because I mentioned like that they do remind me of Denver in that way, and that's how Denver lost to Minnesota. I mean, you can't just keep going into halftime over and over and over again being down. Now, game 7 they were actually up by 20, but you wouldn't, if game 1 and 2 would have went the other way, if you wouldn't have those slow starts, kind of gauge the situation. And part of that's a little bit of Jokic too. I think he would play that style, try to get the team involved before trying to take over. But again, when you get to these situations, game 1 in particular, you got to go out. You can't afford to drop this one, especially if you're Boston, because I just think the Mavericks are running incredibly hot right now. They should have all the confidence on their side. Again, we go through the Western Conference resume. They definitely had the harder end of the deal to get to the finals. But that being said, though, we might see Luka, because I know you're thinking Mavericks are going to win it. Luka, another foreign player, might be an NBA Finals champion. It might, very likely could be the NBA Finals MVP. What's going on in Europe when compared to the USA, where all of a sudden we're seeing guys like Jokic, Luka, Giannis, you can even go back, Victor Wembanyama, some of the young guys right now. Are we missing something in basketball here in the USA right now that's allowing all these foreign players, I shouldn't say allowing, but these foreign players, they're becoming some of the best players in the NBA. Despite it being an incredibly dominant American sport, we're seeing more and more foreign players become some of the premier players in the NBA today. What do you think that is? If you had to take a wild guess or some factor of why these guys are coming up and playing immediately better than a lot of the top 100 prospects we have in the USA, what's your take?
I wouldn't say that they're necessarily better or anything like that. You got a handful of guys that are gifted with being tall and that can typically move very well. And to be that big and that size and be able to do the things that they, have done, it's a little bit different. I think the style of ball that they play overseas, the Euro ball is a lot different than, American. And to them, it might be, a little bit more easier to score. They're really not known for defenders. All of the European guys, what do you know them for? Offensive, being exciting, shooters, and everything like that. There's no, shot blockers. There's no dominant, forces, no Hakeem's back in the day or anything like that. There's no types of, those type of guys. They're skilled, I think, more so on one side of the ball, the offensive side. The game has become, a lot more exciting. It's an offensive game. I think we've seen that, not only in basketball and football as well. And that's something, that they have done a little bit better. It's just, being a little bit more efficient and effective with ways to score and how they score. It's unorthodox to kind of say. And being brought over here and that type of style, it can be mimicked. That's why you don't really see the Lucas or, the Jokers or anything like that, even Giannis. The one thing that they have all in common, they're all over 6'5". Mm-hmm. Outside of maybe Giannis, I mean, Giannis isn't a 3-point specialist, but they're all offensive, scoring type of people and whatnot. So I think that's the biggest difference, is just not anything that we've seen or kind of go after in the US. So it's a little bit different. And when you come across it, I mean, it sticks out and it's exciting. It's a shiny new toy. But with that being said, when the US plays all these other countries and everything like that, we go back to being dominant. So, I mean, is it really that they're the best, or they're just a shiny new toy?
I think they're on to something that we're lacking. It's passing. I think it is the style of play. I think you're 100% right with the style of play, because if you look at, especially if you can do a deep dive on the Olympics and just see, what the ball movement looks like per team. The worst team just about every Olympics since I've been alive is the USA when it comes to in terms of ball movement. And you look at USA basketball and their struggles, especially when it comes to foreign play. The second team who's the worst when it comes to ball movement is always Canada, who plays very, very similar to the U.S. for obvious reasons, right? They're right above us. They're our northern neighbors, and they kind of get in a lot of the same AAU circuits. But when you watch guys, and you kind of mentioned with the size of like Jokic and Luka and Giannis, a big part of, I think, what they have is just that ball movement and understanding, how do I play with what I have around me? What is the best way to get effective field goals? And when you look at kind of some of these American pro players, especially the superstars, what do they do when it's not working? Let me go find guys that match what I do, not what do I need to do to elevate everybody around me and make sure that we can get the most production possible. So I think, you can even go back to Greg Popovich and San Antonio Spurs when he was going down there with Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Parker. All of a sudden, Splitter had a nice run as well. Popovich really broke the seal in Europe. He's like, what are these guys doing over there? I think talent-wise, it's still the U.S., but there is something missing about
they're fundamentally more sound, probably.
Yeah,
they play a truer form of basketball that I would say that the U.S. has gotten away from, or it's not very the same of it. That's why when it comes up, or when you play those teams and everything like that, we're more talented than them, but they just keep up just because of the pace and what they do necessarily over there. So I don't think they're ahead of us. I just think they're probably a bit more technically sound.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it, what it is. And of course, when you're Jokic and you're that height and that size and you have that playmaking ability, if you're Luka and you're that height and that size, you got that playmaking ability. That's kind of what, to me, outside of Giannis, I mean, he's called the Greek freak for a reason. You just can't explain how someone is, genetically gifted like that. But a lot of these elite foreign players, what they have and what makes them so incredible is the playmaking. Now, Luka's playmaking is different than Jokic, and the fact that he's such a good scorer, he's going to look to score first, but he's also really good at finding ways to get his teammates involved when he is hot and knows how they work. So it's going to be interesting, especially if Luka hosts a trophy up again in a year. You look at all the MVPs through the years, it's 4-4-4. It's clear that there's something that USA basketball is missing a little bit. I really do think it's just ball movement and offense.
You can say that, but I mean, there's not any guards that you're talking about. All the foreign players, like I said, are over 6 foot. There aren't the Tony Parkers, out there, or the Ricky Rubios. Even Ricky was kind of somewhat taller, but there's no guards. They're all kind of scorers or big men. So I mean, I get what you're saying, but I'm not fully quietly jumping on board, because it's like they're the outliers. They're all 6'7" and can pass. Serge Ibaka, I mean, he was over 6'6". Paul Gasol and his brother, they both were over 6'7". All foreign players, but again, like you don't talk about guard play or anything like that. It's just they were all a lot taller, bigger type guys that are a little bit movable pieces that can run with the ball well or anything like that. It's always been the bigger type players, or from shooting guards, forwards, and centers that that come over from the EuroLeague to the and not to say that other players don't, but typically the ones that get drafted as superstar, Dirk Nowitzki, over 6'6", over 6'7". I think that's a piece of it, because that's the thing, like I said, that we might not see often over here. They're not talking about anybody under 6'3" or that's doing that over there or whatnot. So I wouldn't say it's all Euro ball. It's specific prototype players, and I think the prototype is over 6'7" that can move well with the ball, pass well with the ball, can score effectively, efficiently, scores somewhat unorthodoxly. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's something that they got completely over there that's what's blowing everything up.
I think you're onto something there. Yeah, it's definitely more of the bigs, right? And I think part of it is also because if you're a big and you crack down and you got elite playmaking ability and high basketball IQ, you can really break defenses. I mean, Jokic is a good example of that. Pau Gasol was a good example of that, just kind of understanding the game. If you are, that giant, that center playing that position, and you have elite playmaking ability, you can be a nightmare for a lot of teams. And that's the success of a lot of these foreign players we're seeing today. But yeah, I mean, maybe take some notes on that. If you're an NBA scout and you're looking to draft a center, maybe look across seas. They seem to have some pretty good candidates out there. But I mean, we're going to find out some answers when we get to the Paris Olympics here pretty soon. I mean, that's the summer here, so it's going to be entertaining to watch. We'll see how the USA does. Again, keep an eye on that passing or that ball movement rating. It sticks out, and it makes a little bit of sense, especially you mentioned it, how the league is so much more catered towards offense now that even if you are the more physically imposing team, it still might not even be to your advantage. In fact, you might get out of the game early because you're getting foul trouble quickly. So that's also, I think, part of another seismic shift why these European teams are having a lot more success is the league shifted towards offense, something that they've always excelled at a lot more than I think, their defensive side of the end. I think when it comes to defense, really in that Jordan era, we saw it at its peak, and then ever since then, it's kind of been on the globe as a whole. It's kind of been on the downfall. So with that being said, though, we'll go ahead, throw to our first break here. Don't Punt Tower. We got Good Morning Pierson-El, the host is always streaming in. Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s. We'll keep it going. I'll talk to you guys in just a little bit.
Hey guys, it's Bill Bush. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty has opened a new location in Pender, Nebraska, in addition to their office in Lincoln. The real estate world can be confusing, so why wouldn't you want an expert helping you every step of the way? If you're looking to buy or sell farmland in Nebraska, Kansas, or Iowa, give Ethan Sorensen a call today at 402-380-0432 or visit them online at nextagrealestate.com. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty with locations in Lincoln and now Pender, Nebraska.
Want to contribute to medical advancements and get paid for your time? Join a clinical trial at Velocity Clinical Research. Participants can receive compensation, access medicines in development, and get study-related care at no cost. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. Help shape the future of medicine. Visit velocitytrials.com.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
If you've been putting off your health, what are you waiting for? The summer 10-week challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is exactly what you need to kickstart your wellness. Farrell's gives you all the tools, coaching, support, and accountability you need to be successful. The 10-week challenge begins on June 8th, and monthly payments are now available. Head to fxblincoln.com for all the details. Stop taking your health for granted and get started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Join On the Block and Old School live from Scissors and Scotch on 30th and Yankee Hill on Thursday, June 6th to celebrate their grand opening. Feel better instantly with a beard trim, haircut, or a traditional shave courtesy of the experienced and professional barbers at Scissors and Scotch. Stick around after your cut and enjoy a beverage in their cozy bar area, and don't worry, there's more than just Scotch. Spend your afternoon with Scissors and Scotch at 93.7 The Ticket, live on location June 6th from 2 to 6 p.m.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Dell and Ed present A Kernel of Truth.
That's Ed's new drone. Why do a couple of Nebraska corn farmers need a drone? 2 words: multispectral imaging. Drones help us farm more efficiently and protect planet Earth. Yep, Ed's a pretty good pilot. When he doesn't hit the broadside of a barn, that is. Nebraska corn. It's the plant that can change the planet.
Visit nebraskacorn.gov to learn more.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk about versatility today. Unlike flowers that wither and die or chocolates that disappear in a heartbeat, jewelry is the solid move here, guys. Yes, she will cherish it, but more important than anything, she will brag about it and brag about you. And that's what it's all about. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back into the Don't Punt Hour. Once again, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got the host, DeMornay Pierson-El, streaming in. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. Got done talking about the NBA Finals. I want to switch over to football a little bit, and then maybe if we have time, we can talk about the Kennedy Carter story, which the WNBA, my lord, they finally got the attention they want, but it's been interesting. It's been very interesting. You can almost a little bit of. We'll have to wait. We'll put that one on pause. First, I want to talk about Adrian Martinez because there's a lot to that story. I don't know if we can cover it right now, but Adrian Martinez, UFL, first team QB. So shout out to him. There's a couple other Huskers in the UFL that made the all team. You also have, as I bring it back up here, Carlos Davis and Jordan Over, 3 former Huskers, all named to the all UFL team. So shout out Adrian Martinez. If you've been following him, it was hot early in the year, but man, he had it cooking. Makes you kind of wonder. Obviously, the injuries didn't help at Nebraska. Kansas State, he had a good run, then the injury again. It's just good to see him have that long-term success and then get acknowledged for it. So again, shout out Adrian Martinez. But now let's go to the NFL. There's a report from the Bills camp, and it says Chase Claypool is looking like the best, most consistent wide receiver currently at the Bills camp. Is that good or bad? I got a little PTSD with that one because that's exactly what it looked like when he was with Chicago Bears. He was raved about in the offseason.
It doesn't really excite me. I mean, it's good for him. I guess more so of a confidence type thing and everything like that, but it's still early. I could probably name you 3 receivers over there.
Well, that's the biggest problem right now. Yeah.
I mean, you got the dude from Michigan. Not from Michigan State. He did go to Michigan, but from Florida State, you got KJ Helmer over there. And then Claypool.
Oh, they still got Curtis Samuel on that roster as well. No, they don't. Hold on.
No, I think Curtis is there. I think Curtis is there. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah. So right now,
I would say that.
Yeah, they got Khalil Shakir, they got Keon Coleman and Curtis Samuel and Chase Claypool. It's going to be interesting. I mean, they still got some decent weapons at the tight end position, but I mean, what does this year look like for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills? What's your expectation? Because this feels like the most bare bone roster Josh Allen's going to have to work with in a long time. They lost a lot, especially in the wide receiver room. And they're
going to be number 3 in the conference. They're not going to beat Miami, and if Aaron Rodgers is healthy with the Jets, they're not beating the Jets. So you're at best you're 3rd. And I mean, if you're better than that, then to each his own. But and we don't know what we're going to get from the Patriots, so they might not even be better than them.
Yeah, I'm going to give them the edge over the Patriots for now, but I mean, you're right. This is. How much is the clock ticking for the Buffalo Bills? Because they're in this position, whereas the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, who's it going to be? Unfortunately, it was the Chiefs every single time, but they're all fantastic games. You really didn't know until the 4th quarter. But now it feels like the clock's finally kind of getting to the last few hours here. With Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, what is their odds for success here going forward? Or do you think this thing's going to kind of blow up even more before they get back onto the winning side? I should say back because they haven't lost yet, but
I don't think terribly long, but we've already seen Josh Allen without a true number 1, superstar receiver. You let Diggs go in for whatever reasons, which is crazy.
Lost Davis.
I don't know. I don't know what and Gabe. I don't know what your offensive identity is going to be. Cook is not going to be the identity of stuff. You still have Josh Allen, so I don't think that was a strong move. I mean, unless Coleman busts onto the scene, and looks something freakishly that we haven't seen before, maybe. But I think they're going to be in a position to draft or trade for a true number 1 receiver, T. Higgins maybe. Or something along the lines of that. But I think, that decision and what they did, with moving off from him, you lost like key pieces on your defense. You let Tre'Davious walk. You let one of your safeties walk, and you might not sign back Micah Hyde. So I don't know. I mean, traditionally, they've had a top 5 defense, but you've let key pieces off of your defense leave. Interior at the middle linebacker, at the linebacker position, and at the secondary position for the past 3 years. When they lost Tremaine Edmonds, I thought that was a big key loss. They haven't really looked the same since his departure. So I don't necessarily know why they're changing things up when they were literally knocking on the door with being not beating the number 1 team that's been winning majority of the past Super Bowls the last 4 or 5 years. Nobody's been doing it. You've beaten them in the regular season. You just haven't beaten them when it's matter. Only 2 or 3 teams have done it thus far. Burrow and them and who did they lose to in the and they lost to the 49ers. They lost to somebody in the Super Bowl a year or 2 ago or whatever. So I mean, not many teams have done it, So I think they're more so moving away than moving towards the direction that they needed to go or that they were going in.
Yeah, and it felt like, especially last year, you saw the Buffalo Bills are able to get it at home, right? And it felt like this was the regular season. The Buffalo Bills, they finally beat the Chiefs. They get to the playoffs. They get to host the game. in Buffalo. Cold. It felt like everything was in the cards for the Buffalo Bills to finally get over the hump. And unfortunately, they kind of fall apart there again. And that's just the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been dominating the NFL for a while now. And when it comes to the Buffalo Bills, this was felt like the clock was ticking a few seasons ago. And like you said, last year was the one that finally felt like it was going to happen. And unfortunately, they fall short again. And now you're sitting there with Josh Allen. I mean, where does Josh Allen rank in terms of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now? Patrick Mahomes won. I don't think it's too close. But Josh Allen, I mean, he's that offense, especially with the lack of run game they've had in recent years. He's been the guy to really drive that entire thing. And everybody knows they want to throw it, and he still puts up insane numbers. I think he's probably
he's for sure probably in the top 10. But I mean, there's a handful of guys that I would take still, before him. Him and what's the guy with the Chargers? Herbert. They're kind of in the same position, but he's been more successful than Herbert, So I think he's probably a step or two or a peg or two, higher than Herbert. Mm-hmm. He's playing well. He's playing excellent, but there's something missing. I don't know exactly what it is or what's wrong. I'm not saying the stage is too bright because I think he does in the games that he has lost to the Chiefs. I think he's played enough to win the game. I don't think it's been because of him that they've lost. I'm not saying, oh yeah, well, if you would have played better, that y'all would have won that. Like he played well enough to get the games won. For whatever reason, it just hasn't been their favor. Mm-hmm. Now I don't know if that's just the new school, old school Buffalo curse coming back to haunt them or something. I don't know what it is. But it's just he just can't get over the hump, and I don't know what else you expect. You have a top 5 defense. Mm-hmm. You had a top 5 receiver. You had a good 1-2 punch. You were starting to figure out, the run game and everything like that. Last year's team probably looked the best team that you've had in the past 4 years, and you let key pieces go. So I'm not sure what it is. I'm not saying it's all on him, because the defense could have stepped up at better times with things and whatnot. But they have to get something done. But I don't think what they've done this offseason was the best way to move forward with things. I think with Steph leaving, I think that's going to come back to bite them early on. We might see a playoff game between CJ and him, and I think Stephon will light them up.
Yep, I'm not more with you. The Buffalo, I think the clock's ran out on them. I really do. Unless they can find a way to swing some major trades, draft picks, something like that. But like this roster, what they have, it not only is it the division you're in, it's like you had it right there, and then the salary cap numbers got too much. You had to make some moves, try to maneuver out of it, and now you're sitting there with a pretty depleted roster. And again, you're looking at James Cook to be a massive chunk of that offense, unless you're trying to put the entire thing on Josh Allen. With that wide receiver core, again, Chase Claypool, maybe I'm wrong, but he was the guy that was raved about during the Bears offseason, and then he kind of gets out there and he doesn't have anything close to the season we were hoping for. You're kind of hearing the same things. And I don't think it's, he's probably having a good offseason, but I also think how many guys out there are really going to compete with Claypool? I mean, the wide receiver core isn't that deep right now. So if he wasn't standing out, I'd be even more worried if I was a Buffalo Bills fan. So it's going to be something to watch. They're definitely more depleted than ever right now, and they're in one of the most brutal divisions in the NFL. With that being said, we'll throw it to break. On the other side, we'll switch over to the WNBA, and we'll talk about what happened to Kennedy Carter off the bus. So again, some more interesting stories with the WNBA. We'll do all of that on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Don't punt hour with DeMornay Pierson-El.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching.
With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Want to contribute to medical advancements and get paid for your time? Join the clinical trial at Velocity Clinical Research. Participants can receive compensation, access medicines in development, and get study-related care at no cost. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. Help shape the future of medicine. Visit velocitytrials.com.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment of the Don't Punt Hour. Once again, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. Wrapping things up here with a little bit more of WNBA news. Good morning, Pierson-El. You're familiar with the Kennedy Carter situation, the Chicago Sky WNBA player.
Is that when somebody like attacked her or jumped or did something?
Yeah, off the bus. So there was for trying to find the exact quotes here, basically got harassed off the bus on their way. It was during an Indiana Fever game. And this was a week after the controversial flagrant foul. And then she kind of doubled down on it. She can't do anything but shoot threes. So a part of her, living it up, playing the villain role, which I got no problems with. It makes it more entertaining, if anything. But this, to me, is more on the fans. Like, what are these fans doing? That's insanity. You got to go harass these players is off the bus. And there was security that had to keep people out of their way. But are you surprised at all to see this kind of level of animosity towards players outside of Caitlin Clark? I mean, just kind of calling it what it is. Now, she did have some comments that didn't help her case, but still, this was insane.
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, I think across sports, you see a lot of things. Well, a lot of things happen that maybe the public doesn't get a hold of. I'm more so shocked at the security, like that it was not secured as much as well or whatever. That's on them. You have assets that you have to protect. You have a job to do, and somebody gets close. Luckily, it wasn't something severe. But what if somebody had ill intentions and really wanted to do something? Then we could be speaking about it differently. People have, she has the right to express how she feels about whatever. That's her opinion about the game and everything like that. But I mean, you put, her safety in jeopardy. You put the team's safety in jeopardy by not, making sure that things were secure. So that's kind of, shocking that somebody got that close or has the access to get that done. And that needs to, that needs to be checked ASAP, double check, triple check. That's not okay, regardless of how people may feel about things or whatever. But she's an athlete. They have security. They have, personnel that are supposed to get stuff secure, and that didn't happen. So hopefully, that's the last of that. With their whole, organization, not just, a team and everything like that.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to want to make sure that they step up that security and make sure they got everything good. And now they did take care of it. They made sure that nothing too bad happened, but something to take account of, because I don't think this is going to go away anytime soon. I think this controversial WNBA stuff, Caitlin Clark versus the rest of the WNBA, whether you think that headline is real or not, it's going to drive the market. And everyone take a deep breath here. Michael Jordan. Now, I'm not comparing Caitlin Clark to Michael Jordan. I don't think I have no idea what the future of her career is going to look like. But when Michael Jordan came into the league, and Strick brought this up, and it was a great point, the Jordan rules were there for a reason. How do we beat this guy? And not only that, they weren't necessarily happy with this new star player taking literally all the attention from the NBA. It was all about Mike. Mike was everything. The Gatorade commercials, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan. He got some nasty hits during that time, and there's a reason for it. There's a star. They want to stop him. Caitlin Clark. She's not obviously near the Michael Jordan status yet. I mean, the Indiana Fever's record will tell you that. But Michael Jordan wasn't winning a lot either when he first got the NBA. But you're seeing it, the recognition, the brand name, Caitlin Clark. It's rubbing off on some of those NBA players the exact same way it happened in the NBA back then. Like, these guys are going to be competitors. This narrative probably isn't going to go away anytime soon. And just enjoy it. As long as nobody gets hurt and it's just athletes being competitive, enjoy it. Don't be the weird fans that actually go out of your way outside of game time to try to harass players getting off the bus. That's when it gets extreme.
The media acts like that Caitlin Clark is an angel. She's drawing at people too. She getting a little rowdy. So don't just like, oh, she's the innocent angel. Like no. Yeah. She talking that talk too. She's starting to feel herself and everything like that. And at the end of the day, everybody's a competitor. Everybody is getting paid to do a job and everything like that. So don't get mad and upset or be, overprotective when, they've been doing that. I mean, what they're doing to her, if you go back and look at some of these games last year and before she got in there, I'm pretty sure you will see the same things happen. Now, maybe not as, physical and as much, but I mean, it happens. Just to say, oh, she's getting picked on. No. She might be, some of it may be a little bit more than the usual, But I mean, they've been talking about it for the past 2 years, and that's all anything and everybody's been talking about. So at some point in time, people get fed up with stuff. I get it. It is what it is. But she's not talking crazy. Caitlin's not talking crazy. Not too many other players are talking crazy, about her. They're saying, she's a one-trick thing, this and this and that, or whatever. But they're not going after her as a person or anything like that. They're not taking it, personally to where they're killing her, with words or trying to be, real harsh with things. So I think a lot of people just need to take a chill pill, relax, and kind of just let the competitiveness kind of just take over with stuff, and understand that they're playing the game. That these are high value athletes, and nobody likes to lose, and people are going to get chippy. It happens.
Yeah, and that's the funniest part, is especially the Kennedy Carter situation, because was it a good play? No. Was it, you want to call it dirty? Maybe a little bit. It wasn't really that violent.
Go back to the sequence before that happened. Like the two sequences before, Caitlin was in her face talking. Caitlin and everything like that, and let her know. So I'm like, but but people don't talk about that, and it's like, man, come on, like I said, did she shoulder check her a little bit too much? Like, yeah, like that might have been, a little bit excessive, but she was. They were going back and forth. I mean, you see people go at LeBron go right back at them. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't say nothing about that, but it's a problem because it's females. Like, come on, man. Like, stop that. Come on.
Yeah, and like, again, it's like you kind of everyone. Caitlin Clark's this angel now, and like, she's competitive. She's always been a competitor.
He was talking the same reason why people love her for what she was doing at Iowa was talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Being over the top with stuff in it. The confidence, always confidence. Then but now now it's too much because she's not doing it at this level, or she hasn't had the same success. Like, come on, man, stop that. Like, let's keep it real.
Because I can remember even a time a certain Husker women's basketball player got checked by a certain Iowa women's basketball player, and it was definitely not clean. It was definitely intentional. And again, now we're looking at Kennedy Carter. What are you doing? Like, should she have done it? No. Should Caitlin Clark done that when she played Nebraska that one time? No. Are the athletes, are they competing? Yeah. Is it moving the needle? Yeah. As long as nobody gets seriously hurt, fans don't be weirdos and want to add on to the harassment outside of the games. It should be a fun product, and we can just sit back and enjoy the drama. I mean, sports it's a TV series. It's dramatic. It's fun. That's why we watch it. But it's going to be interesting. More publicity for the WNBA than ever, and it's certainly off to a hot start with the Caitlin Clark and the entire rookie class, and we'll continue to cover it throughout the year and just see how the storylines change. But with that being said, wrap it up here. This has been the Don't Punt Hour. Shout out to Mornay Pierson-El. Hopping in as always. We'll have What's Up with Chance of Brewington up next. Talk to you guys in a bit.